as well, as it looks like that will be indeed the case. Zachary on the Widow, who are you? Onto the Pharah, and it will be actually Kraken Lacken starting things off on a Brigitte. Maybe they thought that they were going to get some kind of flanker play, or they just actually really like this to be able to win that frontline battle with.
And to be fair, yesterday for Fusion University, the setups Beast Halo had for Who Are You on that Pharah to really make sure they get those teamfight wins with the Earth Shatter into that Mirage was good, but Map
on the map!
By the first blood, and now with Fika out of the out of the picture, we'll still see Kraken Lacken being brought back up, and the member advantage slowly building up in favor of Fusion University. Could see them get that first point cap still in their favor.
And Enabled as well. Brigitte gonna help with some of these engagements, just knocking everybody about, and that's gonna be Math splashed into that corner. And now we see Fusion University taking this first cap and coming away with a lot in terms of ult charge. We see Who Are You up at about 90%, and I actually love the combos that we saw between Beast Halo and Who Are You. A lot of that set up by Kraken Lacken on the Brigitte, so definitely expect those three to combine and find a way to lower the shield, take that Earthshatter out, and really rip into someone with a barrage.
But Jesus, now finding that pick is gonna potentially make things better here for Mirage as he comes alive. Gets the second one. The resurrect was there for L, bringing back Who Are You, but the kills are still happening. Even sure, finding one on the alarm.
Oh, Matt's coming through as well with the barrage. They take down Who Are You. Actually, Matt finding a way to get his name out there, getting some spotlight. And Mirage Sport take the point now for the first time in this series. Very young in its state right now, but Aku, Transcendence ready. They have the infra sight as things develop in a few seconds. Definitely expect Jesus to pull that one out, and there it is.
For Kraken Lacken now onto the Diva, look to at the very least save up some of those members, but in the meantime it's still gonna be Jesus finding those picks still on point with that Widowmaker. The backup could happen as they go off to the side. Who Are You and Elk on that sneaky mission, but does get spotted out, and in the end they did buy the rest of their team a little bit of distance, but forced to disengage. It's gonna be Elk dropping out.
Yeah, he was trying to stay in there with the Pharah, who was kind of low, and he gets dropped and literally dropped into the bottom of the map where he gets killed off, and that's gonna be an Earthshatter coming out from Beast Halo, and everything seems a little bit disconnected, wouldn't you say? I mean, this isn't a Fusion University we're used to seeing.
Very intriguing to see it still be the case with Fusion University today after their blunders yesterday, but on the other side, of course, you also gotta give it to Mirage because they've been playing it really well. Math, as you said previously, finding his moment in the spotlight on that Pharah. Jesus still finding those picks. We'll be looking good, but now that we do see Beast Hill onto that, Winston himself will look to contest that Widowmaker up into that high ground. But now popping that primal rage. It's gonna be actually Beast Halo, first one to drop, and look at that, already 83% in favor of Mirage.
And they are taking it to Fusion University. Now well on their way to winning this fight as well. Mass with the barrage kills off Zachary as they were all stuck in that corner. We might see someone make it over to the point, and it might be Beast Halo, but he gets killed off. We see the self-destruct come out. They're gonna back away from that, and this will be a quick one, actually, for Mirage Sport, and Fusion University starting this series off down a point around in the first map.
And it was very surprising because at the start, things were looking great. We've seen that potential of Beast Halo paired up with Who Are You on the Pharah to really come alive once again, but it wasn't quite there. Mirage finding the picks, finding the setups, and kind of just playing it better than their opponents.
Remember, though, this is the same team that was able to take I believe it was the first round against NRG, and then also take a map. It was Anubis off of NRG as well. So this is no, this is no pushover team at all. But to see them already come out ahead in such a way against Fusion University, who was far and away the team to beat coming into this tournament, maybe aside from Goats, this is incredible.
And we'll see this slight difference in terms of those compositions, both favoring the Junkrats, but again, we'll see a 1-for-1. Elk will be there with the Resurrect onto Zachary, who has had a lot of success on the Junkrat yesterday. We'll look to have just as much on Control Center here now on Lijiang, as Matt wasn't quite in a position where he could be resurrected back up, but still, look at Proggy dropping really, really low. Does get bullied by that front line, and finally, Who Are You finds the kill.
This is where things start working out a little bit better. Zachary gonna be on this Junkrat and really kind of dishing out some damage, but I would say it's Who Are You, doing a lot there, finding a great angle for himself. Now he's on the high ground. Now it's just gonna be slowed down even further with Zachary just throwing out damage at every which way. Math now on the Pharah, working his way around, trying to get another angle for the Kraken Lacken to have to deal with, and they're coming right onto the point.
We'll see them already dropping Beast Halo down to about half, but the Dragon Strike is there. At the very least, should split this team up, but without any follow-up, it's still going to be Math finding that kill onto that Winston, and now with the member advantage, they're going to look to push on forward. Elk does get punished, though, as he did go in for the res.
Look at the way that they're working their way around the side, though. They need to put some pressure onto Progi, who has gone untouched. Look at how healthy he is right now. They're going to get that flip. 41%, though, for Fusion University as they back away. Coming away, though, we see Mirage Sport with every single ult. They have Fika at 89%. He can get that up pretty quickly, especially as they approach. He should be able to get that back up. But they have a good opportunity to win this next fight and once again take the lead here in the second round.
At the very least, though, we'll see that Riptire be the first one to come out of Jesus, looking to spot the opposition onto that high ground. Will not find him, and as a result, will try to still get something done. Almost gets the decent, but now Zachary will look to step it up and do it one better. As so far, still looking for those targets. Unable to find anything just yet. Will get taken out.
Yeah, those were both some hopeful Riptires, some optimistic ones as Progi taking some damage. Ooh, Who Are You finds the kill as the Discord helps him secure that one. He will get res back up. Graviton ready for Fika. He's looking to try to find a way to get that down, but Kraken Lacken with insane burst damage, supported by the Zenyatta as well. Fusion University charging the way back onto this point.
And they do finally get the point back in their favor, but 56% was obtained there by their opponents, and the fact that Fika didn't get to use his Graviton will at the very least force out that Transcendence from Alarm, and it's still very close in terms of this particular matchup on Control Center. We'll look to see as well what Math versus Who Are You will be able to do.
Who Are You still throwing out a ton of that pressure before this fight before we see the engage. Zachary doing the same as these guys have kind of gone for a lot of that AoE pressure. Graviton comes down and nobody was even in close to that at all. And now Who Are You will be able to kind of help punish that alongside Kraken Lacken. They already find the kill onto the Zarya, punish him for that mistake of a Graviton, and will be able to turn them away as Sure falls as well. 85% now for Fusion University. One more shot possibly for Mirage, but it's going to be a tough one as they're going to have to charge onto the point.
They will try to do just that now that we also see Jesus on that Tracer, but I think Fika was looking for those targets to just be hiding behind that middle pillar, but now it's gonna be overtime. Fusion University in control right now. We'll look to secure that 1-to-1 in terms of those points on Legion. However, Who Are You finds the counter map and now finds the second one on Teacher, gets even Progi, and Fusion University with the use of that Transcendence should be looking to equalize this one out.
Overtime ticking, and Jesus was so low there. And they will take it. They will equalize it. Now 1-1. This is a similar situation to what we saw Mirage in, just yesterday, where they were up against NRG. It was tied up 1-1 on Ilios to start the match off. NRG wound up taking that one and quickly, started to turn the series around behind that win. This could be a similar situation here for Fusion University as we see them swapping things about. Fusion University going to be playing the Widow and Pharah together. Elk actually going to be over to the Lucio as Jer does the same, going for some of that boop pressure, We saw that a little bit, and I love seeing that as well. I hate it when it happens to me, but love watching it when it's not me falling off the side of the map.
And the big...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there it is, but Jer will be back, of course, on the Mercy himself as well. And the interesting difference right now is Progi versus B-Sailor. Once again, it is those Reinhardt versus Winston, but Jesus, man, he's been lights out still on that Widowmaker as he gets Zachary even after the Resurrect comes through. Who Are You, though, retaliates.
Yeah, Zachary was feeling really good about his play on Widowmaker despite their loss to Goats, but things have not gone his way so far tonight as Jesus has made a name for himself for sure. Math following things up as well on the Pharah, and this should actually be Mirage Sports' point to take.
We'll see, however, who are you still looking for those kills? Jared does find that resurrect onto Math, and as we will see them still fight it out on top of this point, might just go ahead and have Fusion University get a hold of it.
You got to be able to do it. Who are you? You absolutely have to, and Math actually does that. Barrage ready. He's going to turn it around, still putting pressure out. Does find Beast Halo, and Kraken Lacken is low, so this could be an opportunity as Zachary is now under fire as well, trying to get away from the Winston, but Progi will find that kill. However, Cap is in favor of Fusion University as Beast Halo has made his way back onto the point.
And we'll see them now trying to finally capitalize off those last few picks. Progi getting Kraken Lacken will have him out of the picture. Enable Jesus to find those sidelines and get those kills, but it's going to be Beast Halo dropping out, and now as Haku gets Elk as well, this should be Mirage getting control of the point, but at the meantime, Fusion University looking to stall this one out.
They're going to continue to do this, or rather, I thought they were going to continue to do this because they wanted to hike up that score, but they instead opted to just wait for Kraken Lacken and push back onto the point along with them. And Zachary this time will be able to find Jesus. And I think that now is 1-2 on this round of this map so far with these Widows.
Who are you? Popping that Barrage is not going to be successful at the very least. Without the Transcendence coming out of Haku, so without that important support ultimate in the picture, it's going to be big, but Alarm gets taken out right before he can use the Transcendence himself. But it's not going to amount to nothing because Zachary and Who Are You still got to be popping off themselves.
Well, Zachary had an opportunity to warm up, and now things are coming together. He's found Jesus twice in a row now. He's pretty close to that end for sight. Definitely going to need that vision going forward, but they have the lead. It's a healthy one for now. Zachary, though, as he gets this end for sight online, I imagine he's going to really try to look for the enemy Widow. He's going to get jumped on, though, right away. Progi taking some pressure. Can they find the kill? He does indeed go down.
But in return, even Kraken Lacken will be taken out, so tank for tank. However, Winston versus D.Va will be slightly different in terms of their effectiveness overall now. Math looking to go onto the point alongside Jer. Will be able to continuously dish out that damage. Elk, though, will be popping that Falcon with that AoE healing. Should be able to still secure this fight as Who Are You will be finding the rockets and those kills.
I mean, that's the thing about Fusion University. They just have so many threats. When you start dealing with Zachary, you still have Who Are You. When you start dealing with both of them, you still have Alarm to worry about. And then that's not even taking into account the people who are in your face at all times. Beast Halo and Kraken Lacken, and I mean Elk, to round things out. This is just such a well put together roster. Now they're at 92%. This could be the last fight of this map. Mirage Sport coming in. Barrage at the ready. Math trying to find some damage here. Needs to take some kills. Needs to swing this fight in their favor. Here it comes out as Progi does take Zachary out. Math will find another. That's 2 kills, 4-1.
And we'll see Mirage looking to get the point in their favor as they will secure another kill out to Kraken Lacken. Alarm with that Transcendence. Wasn't quite as successful. Haku keeps to just keep his in this fight, but it will be taken out by Who Are You in the end. But they do get the point. They keep that also important ultimate, and Jerry now bringing him back up too. Should be looking good for them, but they need to win all the team fights from here on out.
They're gonna be hard pressed to be able to do that too. Jesus does manage to buy them some time though. Zachary does die off. They go for the res, and he finds a second one, buying even more precious time to allow them to come back into this. They have to wait for their team member to come back up from respawn, as Who Are You will be now back in action, looking to set things up. You can see that they're trying to go for a play here. They're trying to take an angle. Zachary, looking for Jesus. Jesus actually gets a little bit of clip of that Widowmaker. Zachary now looking for him again, and for sight to come out. Maybe this is a chance for them to find a hole, isolate those tanks, and open things up a little bit. But Zachary does find Math. That's going to be the res again. 6v6 still, as Zachary finds a second one.
Those are the big picks they were looking for, as now Transcendence was forced out. Haku looking to keep this one in their favor, but it's going to be Zachary with a triple kill throughout this whole team fight. Even Kraken Lacken now finding that decent as well as the counter Jer should be enough for Fusion University. Swing momentum back in their favor and close this one out.
that Widowmaker play from Zachary. It took him a little bit to get warmed up. It took him a little bit to get heated up, but now he's on fire, finding kill after kill after kill. He helps shut down Math in that last fight. Aku will go down. Mirage will come out for Who Are You just to finish this one off, and they're still jumping onto this one. Fika is hanging on as Progi does fall. He's going to drop his self-destruct. They might kill him off, and they do just that. Overtime will tick, and Fusion University take the first map, 2-1.
But the really close one, and interestingly enough, it was actually even with the 2-2 on both sides. We'll look to see what Mirage Sports are going to do moving on from here on out, but it's not going to be an easy one for Fusion University.
Yeah, and we saw Math actually have a couple of really flashy plays, which we didn't get to see a lot of in their last series. I mean, this is a player that is definitely really strong. We saw him, I believe, actually last pit as well, over on the EU side of things, however. So I'm looking forward to seeing more out of him, to be able to match up with Jesus, who is, I mean, every single time we see him, lights out. I mean, every single time we see him, especially when he's able to play the Widowmaker and Tracer, when he has the option of either one of those two things, which is actually ideally what you would like to see Zachary play in a lot of these situations as well. I mean, that's where he really, shines as a player. Yes, now he's going up against an, identical player, and having the ability to match him, especially as, Zachary's in a roster that really helps to, shine that light on him and enable him in a lot of different ways. Still being able to equalize that matchup, I mean, that's insane, in my opinion.
It most definitely is, and we will most likely see more of those Widowmakers and Tracer plays, as coming up next, it will be Numbani. It is redemption time for Fusion University, as they will look to win on Nimbani, rather to get a win on Nimbani this time around, whereas yesterday they looked a little bit shaky versus Goats. Will be up against Mirage, who, to their credit, have looked pretty strong, especially when it comes to those control maps.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit sloppier than what we would expect out of Fusion University, a team that actually won NA contenders this last season, and that wasn't even too long ago at all. So to have them make a couple of minute errors that might have cost them the map, it's just not expected. So now, like you said, redemption time for them. This is an opportunity for them to make up for what happened yesterday against Goats, and now to be able to do it against Mirage Sport, who I think is a lot stronger than a lot of people give them credit for, especially when you look at their DPS lineup. I mean, once again, highlighting Jesus above all else, and Progi and Fika are definitely not a tank duo to cast to the wayside at all either. So this is still a very strong team. They definitely cannot undervalue what this team can bring to the table, because that's kind of what happened against Goats. They didn't really expect it to be that difficult of a matchup for them, and because of that, they wound up losing that series. So at this point, Fusion University are going to be taking every match seriously, and I think that's exactly what they need to do here, because there are a lot of hidden gems, I think, in this tournament right now that are certainly looking to take down what is the juggernaut of NA right now.
And now that it will be Nimbani, we'll expect to see more of that 2-2-2. And even though we've said before going to the tournament that yes, Fusion University should be the strongest one on this particular setup, on this particular style of composition, we got to give it to Mirage. As you said, this DPS lineup really coming alive for them. We'll look to potentially make sure to even things out with a map win on Nimbani as the round will start. Actually, gonna go for the triple DPS setup.
All right, starting things off as live as possible as they bring Haku onto the Genji. This is not the first time we've actually seen this type of composition before. It's been done before, and Haku showing us exactly how to get it done. They still managed to find those last bits of kills as he's able to come back into this one. They cleanly take this first point, showing us the flexibility of a flex support onto a Genji, a la, I mean, honestly, LA Gladiators is what comes to mind for me.
And that was such a quick take. Even though we see Who Are You on that Genji, he was able to charge up quite a bit of ultimate, but wasn't quite able to find the kills instead. And now we'll see another adaptation. We will see actually Builder come through. It is going to be Torbjorn on that payload, setting up that turret.
What an interesting way to go through this map, and then you bring out the Orisa into a sniper that's not going to be able to take many shots unless they find an angle. They could easily find a way to go over there and take him out as well. Who Are You going to be drained by that turret? They need to make some swaps here to run into this composition because it's actually working.
Oh man, if anything, you gotta love Mirage for coming up with all these adaptations, all of these different flashy playstyles, as Mapster is the absolute MVP on the second phase of Nimbani right now.
So here we go. These are the changes that are going to be made here as Who Are You goes over to Brigitte. They're going to be going for a 2-1-3 with Zachary, the solo DPS, on the Hanzo now. And they need to contest quickly, or this could be a similar situation to what we saw with Goats. And remember, they have to keep someone on the point. Remember the contest here, Fusion University.
It is Bolton core time as the turret is gonna go ahead and dish out so much damage, but Zachary with that damage root still gonna find that kill. The turret does get taken out, but Jesus on that Widowmaker will find one kill himself. However, the Resurrect being there, it is going to be the rest of Fusion University pushing on forward, forcing out the Transcendence from the other side. Haku now using that one, but Beast Halo might be in quite a bit of a danger, but with the help of Who Are You and the rest of his team, they should be able to stabilize. Elder Shark though launched up into the air.
Oh, Beast Halo caught. Oh, actually, Jesus somehow missing that shot. That's not what you're used to seeing. Beast Halo going to start this fight off, though, for them as they're looking to fend them off. And perhaps this time it won't work out. Zachary unleashing the Dragon Strike. It's onto the point. It forces the tanks forward, but nobody else is around. Zachary will indeed fall as well as the point to Mirage Sport as they go forward, and the armor will soon start stacking from this Torbjorn.
I mean,
Torbjorn.
Even sure getting some time in the spotlight with a kill, or rather getting a kill himself onto Elk, We'll see if Mirage Sports Electronique can keep up this momentum. And we'll have Map soon ready to go with another Molten Core. I gotta say, Maggot should probably, if he's watching, is gonna be happy about this one. As so far, it's gonna be Molten Core to start this engage, looking for more. But it is going to be still holded off by Fusion University.
They still have armor to throw at as well, as they're finding some kills. Haku doesn't need to be on the Genji to be lethal. He finds the kills on the Zenyatta instead. They'll take out Kraken Lakin, and a kill comes out from Zachary, who kind of flanked around the side, but they are still moving this payload forward. They still have over 4 minutes, and it's right there, and we're talking 3 meters away. Is anybody gonna get there? Finally, it's contested. Only a half meter now from the objective.
We'll see even L going down, and now even though Math does get his spirit destroyed, the Dragon Strike will come out of Zachary. However, it doesn't find any kills as the Transcendence was there. Self-destruct launched up into the air by Pika. Can it find anything? Yes, it does find 1 kill. He does go down for his troubles as the Supercharger will be popped down, but it is all about Mirage as they secured that 3rd point and the first round completion.
Wow. Fusion University, again, stumbling on Numbani. Have to wonder, is this it? I mean, are we going to be seeing, is this you know, the precursor to Fusion University falling out of the tournament after going 0-2? We're talking about a team that took 1st place in every single tournament they've been in for the past like 6 months. We're talking about a team that has only really, in a big match where everything's on the line, they've only really lost the Atlantic Showdown, which was a show match. Outside of that, you know, I believe they took a loss to Envision some months ago. But I mean, to be able to take down Fusion University by GOATs, put them into the lower bracket. Yes, they're up 1-0, but now Mirage Esports, I mean, that was a stomp of an attack.
And they have 3 minutes and 40 seconds, even if we will see Fusion University strike back and get a 3rd point themselves. That's so much time to work with. And if you're Fusion University, after losing yesterday on Numbani, coming in today, already being, as you said, somewhat stomped right now by Mirage, you're gonna be feeling pretty down. They need to get back with a strong mental attitude.
And as the emotions and the adrenaline start fading away, we have to remember, Fusion University I mean, they're a phenomenal team. You take that away from them at all. They still have one of the most lethal dive attacks in this tournament on the NA side of the bracket for sure. Nobody can dispute that. When they go for their attack, definitely look for them to try to equalize this time. It's still going to be so tough. 340, definitely a solid time set by Mirage Sport, but that defense just wasn't what we're used to seeing from Fusion University. And that's why it's taking us out of our chairs right now. That Fusion University attacking, we expect to see things kind of come together. Look for them to find their groove, and we see Zachary potentially wanting to make a swap, but he instead will stick to it, as Jesus is actually on a Tracer.
Math also on the Pharah once more. Will look to dish out quite a bit of damage because on the other side, there's not too much that can really deal with him. And Haku once again being lethal on that Zenyatta will secure that 1st blood. The rest of his team looking to push out forward. Jesus finds another kill himself onto Alarm, and this will prompt Zachary to make a swap eventually onto that Widowmaker.
And this is with the swap that I believe they wanted to make initially, but they decided to keep him on it because they didn't want to lose time. They felt pretty confident that they were going to be able to do it with the Hanzo anyways. But that's not the case. That forces the res. Zachary now on the Widowmaker. Who are you? Still on that Genji. This is, I mean, a massive playmaker when he's on this particular character. When he's on this hero, he can do so much with so little. Although, luckily for him, he's backed by a lot. And look at this, Zachary flanking his way around. Will not find the headshot and the kill along with it. But now they have another opportunity with Jesus coming away on the Tracer. They need to find something here, though, and they have been so timid, actually.
We'll see, though, who are you forced to dash out of that situation. Will not have that deflect up either, as the resource beast halo, though, will commit to go back in. Or are you still lit up by that Discord? It's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade, but the Rocket Mirage will secure nothing. Alarm was there with the Transcendence, and now Map being brought back up. It's still looking pretty good for Mirage.
Well, the only thing they have now is Kraken Lakin. killed off. Fusion University looking to sustain in this fight long enough for Who Are You. If he has to pull the blade out, he'll do it. And there it goes. Oh, the stick! Somehow Jesus connects mid-blade as Who Are You shoots down from the sky. The pulse bomb connects and gets the kill. Mirage Sport might be able to defend this one here.
And in what fashion? No ticks here for the side of Fusion University, but Beast Halo slapping the opposition away with that Primal Rage now will look to still get an advantage for his team. Being dropped pretty low, Alarm coming back in with the Transcendence as this fight has been going on for a long time. They do manage to secure that first stick on the board as we'll see the self-destruct being launched through. Haku coming back in with the Transcendence himself. It is a 1-for-1 though.
Now Jesus on the Tracer looking to clean things up, but Who Are You is in the area as he will be able to find another kill, getting ever closer to yet another blade, of which he is so lethal with. And I don't know if Jesus will be able to do that twice in a row. Zachary finally coming alive, and they do manage to unlock the payload. They get that first objective. They'll clean things up as well, but I mean, looking at the timer already, they're not going to, even if things go as good as possible, they're not going to have that same time that we saw come out of Mirage Sport. It's not going to be the case. So they're still going to have to finish this map. They're going to have to be able to hold out on that first point so well to be able to take this map and get that 2-0 lead.
We will see once more Mirage Sports on that double sniper setup as Math did go over to the Hanzo, and now even Jesus swapping over to the Widowmaker, looking to contest Zachary, who definitely came alive towards the end of that first point take, just making sure he unlocks that payload for the rest of his team. But the blade is at the ready for Who Are You, and we know how deadly he can really be with it, especially that this time around Jesus won't have a full spot to shut him down.
Oh, blade ready for Who Are You though, and they have the Transcendence to back him up. If he takes some pressure, there's the self-destruct to come down, and Vika will claim the Genji. Who Are You out of the picture as Mirage Sport will be taking yet another fight on defense, taking more time off the clock as the res comes out. Who Are You going for some heroic plays as they pull that out, despite nobody else really being around them, and they find the kill. Transcendence will answer the rest of it.
Well, at the very least, they do get their Transcendence out of Haku, but I'm somewhat surprised considering the fact that they lost so many members that they actually went through and committed that blade. But now, as Jesus gets another kill onto that Genji, it will be the rest of Fusion University pushed back, and now at 1 minute and 56 seconds in that time back.
Mirage Sport behind Math with the Dragon Strike. Self-destruct goes up, Krakenaken looking for anything, won't find anything at all. The Dragon Strike does come through as it surges forward. Doesn't find the damage, but it does back them off onto the left side, isolating the tanks just a bit. And Math does find the kill onto Zachary. That's a big pick to take out Zachary on the Widow.
Alarm does have that Transcendence at the ready. Will look to potentially enable Who Are You with his blade moving up forward, but again, it's been all about Mirage as throughout this prolonged team fight, they keep winning time and time again. And look at that, Jesus off onto the flank. It's going to be Haku securing the kill onto Elge as we'll see the rest of the team go forward, just looking to get those kills onto the backline. Dragon Strike coming through as well, and now with only 1 more minute, Fusion University need to make a big play with the help of Who Are You.
Having the blade, both of them have been completely shut down for the most part. I mean, the first time we saw the stick from Jesus, I mean, heroic effort there for sure. And then Transcendence to stop what could have been very problematic. But Beast Halo, I think, got hit twice there by Jesus and Math, both in quick succession, and he got taken out. As Who Are You with this blade, working his way around the side, you can tell that they're going to try to come up with some design to be able to get into the point, unleash the blade, and just let Who Are You do what he does best.
But Haku could have the right answer to that particular problem, as so far it's gonna be Beast Halo diving right in with that Primal Rage, potentially forcing that Transcendence just so Who Are You has all the space he needs. As so far, the Valkyrie will be popped. Mav the first one to go down. Haku actually finding the kill onto Beast Halo, so we still might potentially see them defend this one, but the payload does finally achieve that objective, as we will have nobody from Mirage make it in time on top of that one.
Oh, and they're still sticking to the payload, making sure they're not getting any movement, as they're going to sustain there for as long as possible. Fusion University taking a little while there to be able to secure it and start pushing it forward once again. But yeah, Haku was able to keep his Transcendence. He found the kill onto Beast Halo, who was trying to force that out in the fight. But still, they secure it. Haku holding onto his Transcendence here might be pretty big, as it was just less than 60 seconds. Seeing the Dragon Strike come out, they're going to jump right on top of him. He'll be able to answer that. Oh, barely saving his own life.
We'll even have the Pulse Bomb go through, however, it's not going to amount to anything as Beast Halo will go down. Zachary will fall too, and with this Brigitte now onto Jesus, they will look to rally behind him as he will be able to shut down that dive comp, and that it is exactly what I wanted to see out of Fusion University, making the swap. Zachary now onto that Zarya, but is it too late? 29 seconds left. Mirage might even it out with a 1-1 scoreline.
Along with the Transcendence going forward, who are you? You have to look at this. You have to watch this Blade. He needs to get something done here with only 15 seconds left. They have to win what is likely going to be 2 different fights, one right after the other. And likely with a stall to follow, only 7 seconds remain. This could be Fusion University losing this one, but the Blade comes. Self-destruct coming out as well. Who are you taking down? Self-destruct does find that one. Overtime ticking, and Mirage Sport have done it. They have taken a map off of Fusion University. The series is tied up now 1-1, and once again, Fusion University dropping Numbani.
And that was so important for Mirage because yesterday they looked their strongest on those control maps as well as the Assault. That was the only map type as well that they managed to win versus NRG, and to come into this one with such stellar play out of these DPSs and out of Pika as well. You talked a little bit about how these tank members of Mirage have been also on point, and now at the end, Math making sure that he takes out Alarm, unable to use that Transcendence to the fight, and then Pika just sealing the deal at that point was just so exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing very well as a team now. I mean, that's the main factor here. They're very cohesive. They're, lining things up very well. They're now evening it out. I mean, that was something that we saw, actually, the last time we saw them play, was that there was different parts working, but it wasn't all kind of working together. The cogs were turning, but they weren't connected and helping each other turn. Now it's very much looking like it's all working together as a, finely tuned, well-oiled machine, as the saying goes. And honestly, to be able to take a map off of Fusion University, that says a lot. I mean, already, I think they've made the statement that they need to make in this tournament right now, as they, fell a little bit short in open division, but to come back, I think this is a good statement. I'm definitely looking forward to the next, at least 2 maps.
And Hanamura will potentially look to see Mirage being able to take a potential lead, but we'll be moving on to a short commercial break. It is now 1-1 in the scoreline. Mirage Sports versus Fusion University. And the big boost to Mirage is the fact that when it came down to that hybrid map, that's where they looked at their weakest yesterday.
Yeah, so I'm absolutely looking at, once we go into Assault, this is a big moment for Mirage. Can they continue this onslaught, as it were? Because here's the thing. Fusion University are kind of, I mean, it seems like they're fading a little bit. I mean, certain things just feel disconnected, very unlike, what we've seen from them over the past months. And you have to wonder, what changed, what happened to allow some of this stuff to go through? Or is it really just that a lot of these teams have just gotten that much better? I mean, it's hard to say at this point, but I think we'll start finding some answers as we get more maps, as we get more opportunities to see what's going on with Fusion, what's going on even with Mirage, because that's another team that we haven't really gotten to see a lot from. That's a team that didn't get much time, while they were in open division, and didn't really get much time through anything else as they were just put together. So now, as we look at Pit, as they're able to take a map now, this is their moment, I think, to show off what they've got.
And this is another one of these maps where a lot of compositions could go through. We've seen, especially Goats, run that Torbjorn, and we've seen Math be very lethal on that Torbjorn already on Nimbani. I'm not quite sold on it. I don't think they're going to go with it through this time around. However, we've seen how much Fusion University seems to struggle still versus that 3-0-3 composition. Yeah. And if they need to get to that first point, Mirage might be able to run that to success again.
But we haven't seen that much from them. We haven't seen much 3-0-3 from them at all. It's mostly been kind of the same stuff that you actually would expect to see from Fusion University. And that's why I actually came out and said that this was going to be a very tough matchup, because what they're going to be doing is a lot of the same stuff that we see out of Fusion University. But it's to be expected that it's not going to be done as well. I mean, we're talking about a team that has been veritably flawless throughout their history together, and then coming together and not being able to pull it off as well as their counterpart now, their opposition here in Mirage. It's a little bit crazy to see, I would have to say. But looking at this next map, yes, it's possible Mirage could run a 3-0-3. However, I don't think it's very likely. Maybe perhaps for like a first point attack in overtime, after the first attacks, perhaps, yes. But Fusion University have some options. They have run Junkrat. They have run Pharah. They have played it to, some degree of success as well. It's just about making sure that they figure the rest of it out. There's more to that than just those two picks.
And I think they can definitely also run that double sniper comp, because Zachary was still really good on the Widowmaker, especially after he seemed to have been warmed up on that first control map, gotten into his groove. Also, who are you on that Hanzo? When he did play it to a lot of success, but as you said, the coordination not quite on point right now for Fusion University. And it's gonna be interesting to note whether or not they can take a lead right now, as it is still, of course, 1-1.
And as we start, there's the double sniper. Gonna be defended by an Orisa, held up. Math gonna be bringing the Junkrat, and Jesus actually on the Hanzo this time around. Fusion University gonna be taking their time as we see some swaps come out, and that's Who Are You onto the Pharah here.
And already they're gonna push the opposition away towards that objective and potentially enable them to find those angles to get those kills on the supports, but it's gonna be Jesus spotting Zachary's head instead.
And he's done so well to shut these, I mean, really incredible DPS players out. Zachary is a competitor in every sense of the word. Who Are You? Very much the same. They are now held up on point. You can see them being surrounded as well, as they're going to try to find multiple angles around this barrier from Progi.
And a lot of damage at the very least was secured for the defensive side, but as I say that, finally things come alive for Fusion University as they get these all too important kills. Now both supports out of the picture, map will fall as well, and they do open up the point, and eventually it should be getting all three fixed. The text for.
Then moving on to the second point, we expect to see some adjustments perhaps from the attacking side. What kind of adjustments are going to be made to their composition to push into the second point, or are they going to stick to it? I think Who Are You was looking like he was going to make a swap. We'll have to see if that is going to be the case. It's not, so he's going to be sticking to the Pharah at least for now. 65% towards the Mirage. And they're going to be looking to go up the high ground. Kraken Lacken going to be supporting Beast Halo, getting up into that position as Who Are You, just kind of poking, prodding, trying to get that barrage ready.
We'll have Maf now looking to contest with that Genji. All those members in the back line will be vulnerable to him, potentially, as the rest of that front line for Mirage will be those dive-heavy tanks. But it's going to be Jesus opening things up with that Dragon Strike. Alarm doesn't get spotted and manages to stay safe, but Who Are You won't, and he will be going down, but Alarm striking back.
Oh, Who Are You getting res back up, so the 6v5 advantage as Jesus did go down, so does Math, and now they're surging in. Fika trying to come up to oppress the high ground as Who Are You turns on him, self-destruct to come out, and he can't move, so he just kills himself off. And actually, that was a self-destruct to come out as well from Fika, or rather Kraken Lacken, that was supported as well, but there's the Transcendence as Haku comes back in. Beast Halo on the point. Nobody was there. I think Haku actually just fully extended past it, allowed them to get the first tick.
That is not quite what you were looking for, especially now that Alarm does come in with that Transcendence. Beast Halo finds the kill onto that Zenyatta, and now looking to go back in with the use of that Primal Rage will eventually be brought really low. Finally goes down, and Math now opening up with that blade. It's gonna be taken out by Zachary, who's still uncontested.
Healing going out to Progi, though. They're going to have to fall back because there's nobody left to contest that point to make sure that they're forced back. Nobody else there to help, create that space. But it seems like Zachary has created it for himself as they take down Progi. Kraken Lacken's pretty low, going to need some healing from his teammates. But once he gets healed back up, they're going to have Elk ready with the Valkyrie. They're going to put some healing onto that guy as well from Alarm, and they're going to re-engage quickly.
But look at that, Haku is actually still on that Tracer, so it's triple DPS still for Mirage, as we will see the rest of Fusion University potentially get that second tick on the board. Jesus finds Kraken Lacken during that D-suit, but it will still have a hold of this objective as Fusion University look to secure the first tick. Potentially Who Are You with the blade, finds Fika, still looks for more, gets the second one, but does get taken out by Jesus.
Oh, there's a stick. Beast Halo's low now. It forces the Transcendence as Zachary is in a great position to start taking some kills, but he needs to get them now as everybody from the defensive side, Mirage Sport coming back from respawn. You see the tanks coming back into the fight. We're still seeing kills come out for Fusion University, but this is an opportunity to turn things back around. The self-destruct comes out and finds nothing other than the D-mech of Kraken Lacken. And you actually see Beast Halo kind of isolating the tank. The Winston, Progi taken down, but not before he gets Zachary. They're forced once again to leave this second point and look to regroup and re-engage later.
And now we will finally see Haku back on those supports, this time onto that Zenyatta Jer, making the swap from Diana to the Lucio, and now finally onto the Mercy. We'll look to see what the rest of his team will do. Even Jesus will go onto the Chaser. Elk was dropped really low, but managing to stay alive. But we'll see even the side of Fusion University fully commit towards that dive as Beast Halo forces that Primal Rage will be still still left alive, but Math finds him in the end with the Dragon Strike, and once again, Mirage holding out.
2:45 remaining on the clock. And Fusion University, they've done well to get those 2 ticks that they have now, but 84.8% isn't the 100 that they're looking for, especially at this point in the map. Coming forward, though, they have Who Are You's Blade. I mean, I want to mention again, I want to reiterate that is a lot of times all they really need to be able to secure a point, but it hasn't been the same versus Mirage Sport, who has always been able to find an answer, and they will have yet another one with Haku holding on to that Transcendence.
But since they are split apart for now somewhat, it might be the space Who Are You was looking for eventually, but so far Pulse Bomb going through. It's not going to connect on anything. It's going to be Haku finding that kill. Both DPS out for Fusion University. And as they did commit that Valkyrie as well, they're going to lose out another team fight. And now with only 1 minute and 50 seconds. And look at that, Haku still holding out to that Ascendance. Sure, still has that Valkyrie, and late kills is going to make things even more difficult for them.
They still only have that 1 cap, they still only have the 2 ticks, and they still only have 1.5 minutes to work with. And still ultimates are coming up for Mirage Sport. They already have an answer for the Blade. Should it come out, yes, Alarm has a Transcendence of his own so that they can kind of stretch this fight out if they need to be able to find picks and get back in there, establish control, take this last tick. But things are not looking good right now if you're a fan of Fusion University.
Was Jesus gonna go in, does not have the Pulse Bomb. However, the Dragon Strike will be popped. Gonna go for Zachary, will fall, and once again, Mirage getting the victory, the small victory. Pulse Bomb will not amount to anything as the Transcendence was still there. Elk having the Resurrect Proggy, managing to stay alive, reduce to that Primal Reach as well. Look to re-engage as he got healed back up. Who Are You? Bully to disengage. And now, the Self-Destruct will be launched through Kraken Lack and needs to find the kills.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is most definitely a good one.
Zachary looking for the Winston as he disengages. Zachary is getting punished for chasing, though. Needs some heals. He finally does get them, and now it's Fika in a bad position as it's followed up on. And we will see the Self-Destruct come out as well. Krakenlaken losing his mech now, and that's going to be Zachary unleashing the Dragon. And Alarm taking down Brogy. This is a back and forth, but it's only 20 seconds contested now by both sides. Here's Who Are You with the Blade. Can he get it done as he goes forward? Transcendence to answer.
And when it seems like this might be enough for Mirage to hold out strong, especially since Math finds the kills, finally gets killed off by the deflect with his own arrows, but it seems like it's not gonna matter as they do fend them off. Who Are You dies out in the end. Only BC alone on top at this point will be taken out on top, and it will see Mirage hold off and defend the second objective.
Complete.
1 cap. 84.8% Mirage Sport with one of the best defenses against Fusion University that we've seen in quite a long time. And now they have an opportunity to attack. So things are tied up 1-1. They have plenty of time to be able to secure that second objective. We see tons of teams able to get that. I mean, yes, it's a lot harder against Fusion University, but we've already seen GOATs with the ability to, you know, find a way in, find a way to make sure that you punish a team that can't get set up in time from point A to point B and be able to take that very quickly. They could end Fusion University on map 3 right now in just a couple of minutes if they play their cards right.
But it will also be interesting to note how Fusion University will look to play this one out. Yesterday, seems like they're going to stick to the pretty much the same approach with Who Are You once more on that Junkrat. Zachary onto that Hanzo, but gotta give it to Mirage Sports. They found those kills. They found those time and time again. And this has been pretty much Who Are You on his worst day in terms of playing that Genji. I've never seen him being shut down this much, especially when it comes to using that ult.
One of the best things that Fusion University has is their ability to play cohesively. The synergy that they have as a dive is, I mean, probably second to none in the NA bracket. However, what Mirage Sport has been doing, and Fusion has been sort of letting them do, is splitting them apart, taking fights that are favorable to them. You see a lot of time Progeek diving in to Zachary, or even Alarm, where he's either solo or the only support is another Winston. That's not enough pressure to fend off, to stave off, you know, Progy in that sense. And similar things are happening with Fika doing just the same, where these guys are splitting apart and taking favorable, you know, fights and creating a ton of space for their DPS to find those kills.
And we will see that double sniper comp for Mirage, and Jesus can keep up his performance on the Widowmaker should open things up for the rest of his team, as so far they're not quite able to go through that main choke. A lot of spammy damage coming through from that Junkrat as well as that Hanzo in that small place. But now that we will have Alarm fall off, this could be really bad. Jesus, already with that first blood.
I love that too. Great camera work from our observers for sure to be able to spot that one out. And here's Math following up as well, right in behind that barrier as they get them down so low. And look at them trying to retreat. Math was right there, although they do find a way to get him down to 35, but they're not going to be able to find the kill just yet. And Mirage Sport on the point now, looking to create space. They've already taken down Beast Halo. They will take down Who Are You as well. And quickly, Fusion University are indeed falling. 3 minutes now as they will take this one. Alarm will fall as well late here. A lot of swaps being made by Fusion University, but look at this. It's going to be almost 7 minutes that Fusion University has to miraculously defend, or they will lose this map as well.
And they have quite a few ultimates here for Mirage. They will, of course, send in Math potentially to be the big game changer with that Rocket Barrage and make sure he gets those early few picks. But on the other side, with a double sniper comp themselves, Fusion University really need to make it count. And Jesus still getting the best of it. Math gets a double off the Rocket Barrage. And this already might be over for Fusion University.
This was a similar situation, you know, again, punishing Fusion University, taking the momentum and pushing it in your favor where you're able to take them out so quickly. And now you have a great opportunity to take this map right away, and you will be up 2-1 against one of the most prolific teams in the tournament, if not the most prolific team in the tournament. Elk trying to keep things alive. Transcendence comes out, self-destruct coming out as well. Can they turn it around? Sure does go down, and it seems like maybe, just maybe, Fusion University might be able to stave off this one. But they've already achieved 2 ticks, Brunch. They've already managed to get that much closer and still have so much time.
It's gonna be such a daunting task here for Fusion University to make it happen, to make sure they do hold this one out. But already we see swaps from Mirage, and
here it
is the free comp. And this is the thing, they're gonna have so much staying power, and since they only need that small amount of percentage, this is still gonna be looking very dire for Fusion University.
And with this comp, it's going to be so hard to utilize this Ana the way that they want to. Beast Halo's going to be, you know, shielded off, blocked off. He's not going to be able to receive the healing from Elk as much as they really want. Zachary up top going to provide the pressure. They need to find kills quick. Beast Halo did find one with some help onto Jesus, denying that as well. Going to be a quick, actually a very quick defense from Fusion University. They easily turn them back around. And they will have a lot of ultimates towards this next fight as Elk comes through as well with the nano boost. That will be huge to allow Beast Halo to really put some pressure out onto the supports, maybe force something out very early to allow for Fusion University to throw out some of their DPS ults after.
I mean, you could definitely also launch it onto Who Are You and just say, Who Are You, do your work. The amazing things you can really do with that blade on that Genji. And once, as he pulls it out, it is going to be the target of that nano boost, and he gets 2 kills. Fika manages to find 1, but it's going to be all about Who Are You getting a quad, and they will be able to shut it down. Late kill onto Fika eventually, as they will continue to bully that Diva. But look at this Mirage. Have quite a few ultimates slowly building up for themselves, and with 3 minutes and 57 seconds, once they have the likes of Math's Graviton, Jer's Sound Barrier, Jesus' armor from the rally, it's still gonna be so difficult for Fusion University.
They can hold on with Alarm's Transcendence. They can make sure that they stretch this fight out a little bit, but once that Graviton comes in, if they don't find those kills, they're gonna be hard-pressed to be able to stay alive in that one. Riptire coming out from Zachary, though. Going right in, will find Brogy. That's a good opening.
And already with a 6v5 advantage, they will look to continuously push on forward. Jer falls as well. And as Map will go down, he will be close towards that Graviton, but we'll see Alarm still hold out with that Transcendence. Elk should soon enough have that nano boost. But this is where, as said, Mirage can really get that final few percentage on the board because Jesus will have his rally, Math has his graviton. Almost every ultimate is basically up for Mirage.
The only thing they don't have and won't have is Haku's Coalescence. That can be, very quickly generated, but you're going to want that very soon. Rally coming out, going to be signifying the first engagement here as Graviton's going to come down. They're going to catch them with it. Self-destruct to come out as well. They should find some kills, at least one. That's going to be the DMAC as well as Beast Halo, so no tanks now. Earthshatter to follow as well.
Oh, it seems like the blade will come out. However, it's not going to amount to anything. We'll see Who Are You Fall and Elk last-ditch effort. Mirage take Hanamura as well and the series lead.
2-1 now for Mirage Sport. It is match point for Mirage against Fusion University. They are in a similar situation to what we saw yesterday against Goats, where they could now, though, be out of the tournament completely with 2 series losses in a row. I mean, unheard of. Yes, we have seen some great plays from them, but they need to come together now more than ever so that they can, to be stifled on an attack on Hanamura. That is so unlike Fusion University, and Mirage Sport has done well to, enable this kind of play.
And the scary thing is, since now they have the momentum, they have the lead going into the next map, which will be Dorado, Mirage will be looking to close this one out. And Fusion University, Hirix, I'd be out with no series win.
Yeah, and possibly even with only 2 maps being taken in their favor, so.
It's gonna be an interesting one. You definitely don't want to miss out. I can't believe I'm saying this here, but it is match point for Mirage Sports Electronique up against the Titans of Fusion University.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it before. This is the most prolific team in the NA side of the bracket. To see them go down to the losers bracket so early wasn't expected, but more so now to see them lose out in the losers bracket and possibly only taking 2 map wins in the process throughout the entirety of their play in the tournament. Definitely unexpected, I would have to say. But moving into Dorado, I would have to say they have a shot. I mean, they always have a shot. It's Fusion University. They have a shot always, but they need to figure out a way to deal with Zachary, I think. They need to figure out a way to deal with Fika as well. The way that they need to figure out how they were being dealt with. They need to figure out, what the tanks were doing from Mirage Esports to be able to actually get in there, separate them, and then take those, optimal fights where they're getting separated out and not playing together like we are used to seeing them, especially with their dive style.
And even though, of course, we cannot take away from the fact that Mirage Sports Electronique really are coming together, really are playing as a unit, as a team, it's still a different type of meta overall compared to what the last season was. And this is where we see some of the problems potentially in Fusion University. Of course, it's still not just down to compositions, right? As you said, it's still down to the fact that it seems like they're not quite clicking as was they did in the past. And now that they are down, this is where they, all of a sudden, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Fusion University really need to turn things around.
Yeah, absolutely. Need to completely flip things and in a situation that they just haven't been in too many times. I mean, we saw them have a rivalry against EV in the past. Envision was a team to look out for. Toronto came out and was looking very solid as well. But realistically, they haven't been in a situation like this. They've had moments where they've had, tough battles and everything, but to be down so early in a tournament like this is unheard of for Fusion University. And Jesus really just, piling it on right now, putting dirt in the wounds, taking the first pick here on Dorado.
And this will signal the rest of Fusion University to default back to that dive composition style. However, Beast Halo is going to be dropping pretty low. Will be healed up, of course, by the rest of his team. Enable Alarm to charge up towards that Transcendence. However, instantly recognized by Mirage Sports, they will disengage and make sure they set up towards that objective.
If they can win this map, though, I think they have a good shot at control. They took Lijiang Tower. They looked pretty good on control pretty much all the time. But now we'll see them falling back. Mirage Sport lost Jesus very early on, but they're still taking some kills as they're kiting out members of Fusion University. We'll see Krakenlaken losing his mech as well. They lost Progi in the process, but I think they might have enough. But they need to deal with Zachary. This one-man army of the Tracer is still stuck in here, and Who Are You comes back in as well. They are going to turn this one around.
Even though he does go down in the end, it wasn't quite fast enough. Zachary on that Tracer just unleashing hell onto his opponent. So far, having that pulse bomb also charged up, will be looking favored into this next team fight. But Jesus with that infrared side at the ready will look to spot out the opposition, already forcing Zachary to use that recall. So now if they can set up on that high ground, get that positional advantage, they should potentially be looking much better in this second phase.
Where are you up on top trying to get that blade? Already though, Alarm and Beast Halo both down. Zachary does find a kill, so maybe they're going to try to just push out this two-man army of Who Are You and Zachary together to keep pushing along, but they need healing onto Who Are You quickly. They already lost Elk, so not really anybody around to give him that healing unless he does find a health pack, which I believe he just did, and they'll be looking to re-engage now. This cart has been stalled out this entire time though, and as they lose Zachary, they'll now have to really just wait this one out and re-engage in about 10 more seconds.
And they still have those ult-important support ultimates available here for Mirage Sports. Could shut down what would be a big potential blade out of Who Are You. Who's still sticking with that Genji, of course, and there it is, gonna pop it, already gets a double.
Oh, looking for the Mercy, doesn't find him as he just jets on over to his teammate. They somehow managed to get a res in the thick of everything, bringing Mass back up into this fight. They're still pushing this payload along, though, as Krakenlaken once again loses his mech.
And we'll have the sound barrier being popped by Elk just to make sure secures the fight here, but Fika finds a self-destruct kill, might be desuited, however, manages to disengage right in the nick of time, and maybe, just maybe, Mirage can still hold out strong. Now Dragon Strike was popped, but I do believe it got gobbled up by the Matrix.
Jesus working his way around. Pulse bomb ready for Zachary, but I mean, you're not going to find much if you put it down onto a Primal Rage Progi on the Winston. He's getting down pretty low though, so he's forced to disengage. They're going to help him get back up, and now we're going to be seeing Krakenlaken go through with the self-destruct of his own. He doesn't find anything, but luckily the rest of his team has. Who are you? And Zachary, the DPS duo for Fusion University, are coming together this time.
And this is exactly what they need to keep up the momentum. Even though Haku did get brought back up, Fika is going to be the only one to contest. Does launch that self-destruct, so they will manage to push the opposition away for now. However, without BCO back in, it's going to be actually Haku finding a kill onto Zachary, so that might swing things in Mirage Sports' favor. But the blade is at the ready. We will see who are you looking for those kills. Gets the D-suit as the Transcendence was there by Haku, and no other thing achieved there. But the Dragon Strike will come out, force the Transcendence from the other end. Alarm, you're seeing that one as this team fight has been going on for what seems like forever.
They do manage to take out Beast Halo though, so things will fall apart as Krakenlaken doesn't even have spec still. So they will clean things up. Mirage Sport fend them off yet again. 210 now though, Brunch, and we will see no ults ready for Fusion University on this attack. However, if you look on the other side, still same situation for Mirage. So this will be a a cold attack here, but a cold defense as well in return. And we'll have to see who's going to be able to engage the best. And it seems like Haku will make the first statement onto Alarm.
And it's a big one now, being able to get closer towards that all-too important Transcendence. Will be looking to put his team ahead overall, especially with 1 minute and 37 seconds left on the clock, considering the distance the attacking side needs to cover back from respawns. Once they lose a potential fight, it's gonna be really, really bad for them. But now the pulse bomber is gonna go through. However, the kill will not be there. Zachary not going to find that one this time around.
Oh, they're trying to sniff him out too. Beast Halo goes through, will actually catch the Hanzo, but he's just gonna run around, get the health pack, so they probably won't get the kill, and still Krakenlaken alone on this point as Pierogi Beast Halo just dove right in. He's gonna help the rest of his team stay alive, sustain long enough for them to start finding some kills. They're cleaning things up now, 2 meters away, 1 minute left. As we get that 60-second call, self-destruct to come out. It is protected, and they will back out. 220 now for Mirage Sport to be able to defend. See if they can shut them down once again. Fusion University desperate now for a win.
And I definitely like the fact that Jesus went ahead and instantly made the swap now over to the Brigitte. Will be able to deal with this dive comp coming out of Fusion University. And once they pop the blade, they might make some swaps of their own. But now that they did take out Froggy, they're going to commit the sound barrier. The Dragon Strike is there. The blade will come out and play out of Who Are You? But Haku with the Transcendence will make sure that the rest of his team is alive. And in return, Map finds one. Who Are You comes out with no kills as he will get taken out by the Sonic Arrow of all things.
Math has been popping right now with that Sonic Arrow. He does indeed find that kill, but Math does fall now. Zachary has been completely countered, buddy. You gotta swap heroes now. There's no way you're gonna live against the Brigitte swap from Jesus. They did that for you and you specifically as he goes over to the Hanzo.
And it's understandable because what really opened up things for Fusion University was Zachary's performance on that Tracer, on that first point. But now he'll make the swap over to the Hanzo. We'll toy with that idea. Gives it up to Who Are You instead. We'll go on the McCree, and this should at the very least deal with Math in an easier fashion, but still interesting nevertheless.
And anytime we do see Pierogi try to get aggressive and, try to dive into them, create some space for Math in the back, who's now actually on a Hanzo, they will find an answer. But Beast Halo engaging up top already. He's going to lose a lot of that HP. Force the Primal Rage. Jesus does fall off the high ground, though.
We'll see even sure, potentially in a tough spot. However, it's going to be Haku, the first one to fall, and finally Fusion University might get this third objective as it will have that man advantage. Will look to continue on the pressure. Jer will fall as well, so only Jesus left in terms of those supports. Haku coming out from spawn though should be online in the nick of time, but they need to get on top of that payload.
Oh, self-destruct ready for Fika. He needs to come up big in this one. He's going to put it right on top of the payload. It might be contained here. Everyone is going to get away, so that at least will allow Mirage Sport to get back onto the point. There's Alarm coming through with the Transcendence. Deadeye to come out. It will take Jer out.
And the Dragon Strike was used. Oh, and Math secures 2 kills with it. Will be taken down in the end as Zachary finds that one. Elk manages to get the threat onto B-Tail, a big target. Now with Alarm, dropping pretty low, gets stunned up by Jesus. Will manage to stay alive through that heal as Elk was at the ready with that Valk. Who are you? Launches the Dragon Strike, but will make the swap over to Tracer, forced to do so just so he can make it back on time. And with this prolonged team fight, we might see Mirage saving off the competition.
But still, Alarm has found so many kills. Look how protected he is. He's going to find his second transcendence of this fight alone. Who are you and Zachary are now back. So now they do have the weaponry, the ability, the arsenal to take down Mirage Sport and claim this third objective, something they couldn't do the last map. And there it is, Fusion University in overtime. Finally claim it, and Mirage Sport now have their moment to attack themselves.
And they did, at the very least, force out at overtime. Mirage Sports could come out on top of this one if they are to take that third objective and get a better time overall. And considering their performance, I gotta say, that is looking still very likely right now, Hurix.
Absolutely. I mean, Mirage Sport on their attack, if we see them getting, first picks off the bat, as often as we've seen it happen. I mean, Haku and Jesus have done so much of that throughout this. Math even a couple of times has done a ton to be able to shut down Who Are You, which is a great person. If you're going to be able to take out anybody, Who Are You is probably one of the first guys you're looking at, if not, Beast Halo or something like that. So to eliminate Who Are You and really kind of make sure that the impact that he has is lessened, that's doing wonders for Mirage and allowing them to have the performance that we're seeing right now. However, look at what we're getting from the defense as we see Zachary back on the Widow. Who Are You going over to the Junkrat himself. So Fusion University is sticking to their guns, I would say, sticking to that 2-2-2, sticking to what they feel is best and everything. We haven't seen them, really alter too much from that. It's either been the dive or, incorporating an Orisa or a Reinhardt and just kind of shielding up for their DPS and trying to create space for those two players.
But look at Mirage. They're once again potentially going to go through with that triple DPS. Haku has been lethal on a multitude of heroes today. It seems like, though, it will make the swap to the Zenyatta eventually, but Fake could definitely still be an option. However, it is going to be Zenyatta, and with those DPSs, for Jesus will be Widowmaker Math on the fair, looking to get, once again, those early few picks.
I don't think that they're going to want to pull that out unless they really want to contest the high ground. If they want to get aggressive right off the bat right here when you see Fusion set up. And it doesn't look like that's what they're going to be wanting to do, so they're going to make sure that they have him on the Zenyatta instead. So, as they look to engage, Mirage Sport taking multiple angles. Already Jesus putting in some heat onto Kraken Laken's face on the Zarya. And now here's the engage.
However, can they secure any kills? Because so far, still been a back and forth. Both sides looking eagerly for that first blood. Will not quite manage to find anything just yet. BCLO looking to push in forward. Forces Pika to disengage, but still quite a bit of distance covering, or rather being covered by the attacking side. As we'll see a 1-for-1 as Math takes out both supports, and that might be enough.
And coming back into it as well, it's just Kraken Laken on the point. Mirage Sport claims the first objective for sure here with about 3 minutes to spare. When they finally do cap it, Beast Halo going to jump off the map. He's going to go back over with the rest of his team, likely to go over to the Winston. Who Are You might swap himself, and actually a Genji. That was not what I expected to be played here on defense, but again, knowing Who Are You, not exactly a massive surprise.
But even Elk setting himself up on the Ana, we'll look to whether or not he's just gonna go ahead and use those nano boosts to empower Who Are You once more, because so far it's been Zachary taken out once more. Mirage with the edge, with the advantage going into this one right now. Zachary will make this up over to the Tracer. We'll look to dive with the rest of his team, but overall Mirage still having control of this matchup.
They still need to find a way to take some time away, and I mean, once you get into that third stage, what better to do that than with the Brawl Comp? How the mighty have fallen. The Fusion of all teams is the team to pull that out. But they do find a kill onto Jesus. Zachary finally getting the opportunity to just outright deny him on that Widowmaker, but that payload is still kind of moving along.
Only single member to really go down. Even from Mirage, they will continuously look for those fights. Elk is gonna go down, however, Proggy will be going down. Trafika finds the big self-destruct with a 2 kills. Who are you deflect? Sends those rockets right back at Math, but is it going to be enough? Because the Resurrect was enabled there. Proggy back online with that Winston. Alarm is going to be the only one to contest. And now who are you with the blade? The nano boosted one at that. We'll look for the strike. Swipes Jesus in half. And now was unable to get anything else done, but it might have just been enough.
Oh, and Zachary will claim chair as well. They might have done it despite Haku pulling out the Transcendence right as the blade came out. I mean, you can't really do much more than that in that role. Who are you boosted up does take that quick kill against the, you know, very frail Tracer. That HP pool is not a lot. But now we'll see them looking to re-engage. Kraken, Lakin holding onto the self-destruct to stave them off. And who are you? A quick one onto Jesus.
This is the type of picks you're looking for if you're Fusion University, considering the amount of time Mirage have at their disposal. They need to make these sort of picks happen time and time again, as we will actually see Jesus on that Widowmaker look for those picks once more, but overall just unable to find as much success in the second phase.
Fusion University still have all those same answers. They both, you know, both of their tanks have the ability to reset if they take too much pressure. And we will see Beast Halo getting very aggressive. Look at who are you though, as he's gonna finally get some healing there and stay alive for now, as Mirage Sport is getting battered over on the side of this map here, where Fusion University has them completely cornered out.
The scary thing is the fact that who are you soon enough will have that blade. And as a matter of fact, he should have that blade for the next team fight. Elk will be there with the nano boost, and we all know who's likely to be the receiver of that particular ult. Whereas even Alarm will be able to stabilize any potential problems if need be with the use of that Transcendence.
Oh, where are you at? 97% now, and that will tick up. Definitely want to see him have this quickly so that they can, you know, set the pace of the fight, go out aggressive, and any hopes for Mirage to be able to generate something themselves and set up their own play, and here it comes.
He does manage to find Math, that fair into the skies. He gets another onto Proggy, and with the 6v4 man advantage, they will be able to push the opposition away. But in the meantime, Jesus on that Tracer was able to find Elk in the background, so small advantage. However, with Zachary being there on the Tracer himself, we'll find another kill. Math will make the swap over to the Hanzo this time, and the problem for them is the fact that Alarm still has a Transcendence. Wasn't forced to use it just yet. However, even Haku, if need be, could potentially swing things finally in favor of Mirage with the Transcendence of their own.
Oh, Jesus here now has the Pulse Bomb, looking to engage with the rest of his team. He's going to wheel around, look for an opportunity to throw it out. Oh, he does, but it's eaten up, I believe. And now it's Zachary's turn as he's holding on to one of himself. There's the self-destruct to come out as well from Kraken Lakin. Actually, it was Fika who takes Kraken Lakin out of his mech, and a big opportunity now as Fusion University have lost their, not only their biggest DPS in a lot of these fights, but also Elk. They've lost both tanks now as well, and it's just going to be cleanup now for Mirage.
Fika has been amazing with the self-destruct. Not only did he get the D-suit, he dropped Huaryu so low and forced him to use that dash where he didn't want it to, and as a result, with those kills coming through, they will have 2 minutes and 3 seconds to work with. They did commit a bunch to make sure that does go through, but now that they are playing so aggressive, they are moving forward, they will look to get that third point on the board.
150. Who are you at 62%, so not close enough to that fight-saving blade that he wants to be at, but as he dashes through Proggy, as well as Jur, he's already back at 80%, and that's quick and easy for Fusion University, going back to what they know, that classic Fusion University style. Do not want to call them by their acronym, but that classic style that we know Fusion University to have, running this straight-up dive composition with Who Are You on this Genji, seems to have, I mean, they feel probably a lot more confident with this style, and even bringing Elk back over to the Ana as well. Things are working out now in their favor.
But it's not over just yet, even with 1 minute and 8 seconds left on that timer. Math having that Dragon Strike at the ready soon enough could find those squishy members of Fusion University's backline, and with those early few kills potentially coming through, that should be enough to open up the board, but it's gonna be the Pulse Bomb that finds the first kill onto Els. Oh, but who are you? Gets the deflect onto the Dragon Strike. Who are you? This is the type of flashy plays we expect out of him, and with that kill onto Jur, now with 39 seconds left, we might see Fusion University take it to Mirage Sports.
And that would equalize things here for us and take us into a Game 5 onto Control. I already mentioned how, in my opinion, Fusion University has the upper hand moving into Ilios. I think they're a little bit stronger on Control. Yes, Jesus has looked good. You know, he's been able to do a lot in those scrappy fights, but as a team, especially now that Fusion is looking a little bit more put together, I think they could do this, but they have to defend here. They have to put the stop to Mirage Sports now.
And I'm curious to see whether or not Warrior's gonna go for that blade or if he's gonna wait for Elk. The Pulse Bomb is gonna connect up to Brogy now, as he will manage to stay alive with use of that Primal Rage. Overtime kicking in, the kills need to happen. So the Shark launched up into the air. It's gonna be Map going out, who did make the swap over to that Genji, but in the meantime, it's a 1-for-1. The Pulse Bomb finds another into Alarm, and with that Natter boosted blade, who are you? Desperately looking for any kills, was unable to do anything, and we might still Mirage come out on top.
Haku was so patient with that, able to hold on just long enough as Math on the Genji gets taken down very low, but remember, overtime is still ticking down, and it's going to be up to Mirage Esports to not only win this fight, but also stay on the payload throughout.
And Beast Halo getting another count to Map. The Pulse Bomb was there. Brogy barely managing to stay alive. Does drop down that bubble. However, Haku now going down. The staying power of this Mirage Sports team is definitely lessened. And with the kills coming online, who are you? Almost with another blade at the ready. Doesn't even need it. It will have a 5-map series between Fusion and Mirage.
And that's exactly it. I mean, Fusion University going back to the classic 2-2-2 dive style that we saw happen with Tracer and Genji, even bringing Elk onto the Ana as well. I mean, this is just going back to what they know and having it work out in that way. So now they're back into this, moving over to Control. I think that they can finally feel a little bit more confident about what to expect moving forward. And I think they might just have a shot at staying in this tournament, and I did not expect to say that at all today.
And even though that last Control map was really, really close, 2-1 was the score, we will be moving on to Ilios, and we will see who will come out on top. Will Fusion University go out, or will Mirage be the ones to fall? And we are now heading right into the 5th map of the series. What an insane matchup. Wouldn't have expected going to this one, but it's been an interesting back and forth. And at the very end, this is where we finally see Who Are You really come out big with that Genji.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Who Are You turning things back around alongside the rest of his squad. Fusion University going back to what they know best, everything working out now. But as they go back over to Control, I expect things to come back to what they're used to in this meta, where we're going to see more of that Mercy Zen. We're going to be seeing more of those more traditional picks on the DPS as well, and of course those being possibly some Widow, possibly some Hanzo, possibly some Pharah. What we're used to seeing out of them throughout this tournament so far on these types of maps.
And I think also going into Ilios, of course, depending on which side of Ilios we're going to start things off, we might even see more of that dive come, more of those Tracer Genjis potentially, considering their respective performance for Fusion University especially, because even Zachary really on that Tracer was able to enable the rest of his team when it came down to it on that first point with their attacks. So I could definitely see a world where they would play those two as their DPSs still.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We could easily see that happen. I mean, we've seen actually more and more Genjis as time has gone on. We've seen, especially with Who Are You, but even, Spirit has played it, Sugar Free has played it as well with last night's Leftovers, a team that we're going to be seeing after this matchup. But don't think too much on that because there's plenty going on right now.
It will be once again match point for both of these teams. It is tied 2-2. Once more, Fusion University in red versus Mirage Sport Electronique in blue. As the round will start, we will once more see that Widowmaker and Pharah combo on both ends.
All right, starting things off here, and interestingly, Beast, Halo, and Kraken actually going with Winston Diva as Matt gets taken down so quickly there. Who Are You going to start things off already nicely for Fusion University? Now they can take this advantage and dive right in, and they do just that.
Frogy now is going to be jumping extremely low. Who Are You with the second kill of the round will be securing the point for the rest of his team as they will get that all too important first point cap. And we'll continue to hold out strong to it, and we will see some adaptations on the other side. Progi will go to that Winston himself, but Zachary is taking out Matt once more. Math just not having the time of his life right now.
And again, Control is where things go back to normal, I think, for Fusion University. So they have run the gauntlet. They still have a little bit more to come, but they're in a much better position now to be able to deal with this, and I think their ability to play with this dive and separate the enemy is going to work out in their favor long term.
And now that Progi finds 2 kills on both Zachary and Alarm, this might be what they need to open this one up. Who Are You unable to find anything off of the barrage, and Mirage strike back and strike hard.
Yeah, they get the flip along with it. 42% though for Fusion University. We see a lot of times how they're able to quickly turn back around and get a a really swift retake. As Zachary again finds Jesus, as well as Math, both DPS down. Finally, Jesus does come back up, but now the Mercy's actually caught in a possibly bad position.
Those hook shots coming alive for Zachary, but will it be enough? As so far the fight is still prolonged. Zachary getting another one, and another just falling on the kill count. We'll look for more, but as they will have already 42%, we'll look for that point flipped right back in their favor. Who Are You? They did make the swap over to the Genji once more, but it is going to be a matter of time. They will get that point, and now we'll look to keep on this advantage strong.
Yeah, and they say, why are we even messing around? Why are we not having Who Are You on the Genji? Put him back on it. He's already at 68% towards his blade. And there is so far no real answer. I mean, we don't see the Brigitte coming out or something like that. And Zachary again with yet another pick. And Jesus finally takes him down, but we could see a res onto Zachary if it's not protected. Oh, he's going to find a second.
These Widowmakers on both sides just keeping this series so close right now. We will have Progi pop that Primal Rage, looking for more, in Mirage coming alive off of Jesus' plays this time around. Will secure the point back in their favor, but so many ultimates being lined up for Fusion University as Elk will go over onto the Lucio.
I'm thinking here that they're going to want to engage quickly, get Who Are You into a position where he can just launch this Dragon Blade straight up into the air and bring it down with him right onto the back line. But they need to be able to deal with Haku's Transcendence before he actually does this. They want to jump onto Haku, pull that out quickly, then disengage if they can. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Oh!
Ooh, who are you? Gets taken out, but it is a 1-for-1 as Beast Halo still rampaging with that Primal Rage. We'll be looking for more. The point might go in favor of the red-hand side of Fusion University as Proggy did go down map, being brought back up with the Resurrect Self-Destruct was launched. L the one to find Jesus of all players on this team, but the Dragon Strike might be enough to push them away.
And here comes the Dragon Blade to follow. Who are you? Back into it. He pulls it out. Looking for Fika. Already putting the damage down. Actually catches Math, who was trying to dash through. And actually, Who Are You will find Fika in the end. As they now take the lead, have the advantage going forward. It's going to come down to someone, Jesus or Haku, getting onto the point somehow. We even see a lot of other swaps happening just to get back over there. Fusion University already set up. They're in a position now to take this take this first round here.
But the Transcendence, can it be enough to secure the Team 5 win? Because one Team 5 win is what both of these teams really need to secure that first round win or victory on Ilios, as we will see a 1-for-1. The decent will happen. However, Haku goes down. It's still a back and forth. Froggy, though, under a lot of pressure, will be taken out by Zachary, who gets a double kill at Fusion University to secure the kills and that first round win in the end. But such a close call.
Zachary lit it up throughout that series, both on the Widow, moving over to the Tracer, still having such a profound effect. And now we'll see it go to what is match point now for Fusion University. They have battled their way back into this one after going up 1-0 initially on Lijiang Tower, where they took it 2-1 over Mirage. And now they have that map advantage after the first round. Moving forward, this could be it for Mirage Sport. I mean, this could be the end of the tournament for them. But even if it's the end for them, I mean, hats off, because to take Fusion University to 5 maps and make it so insane throughout, to give us this kind of showing, so much respect for these guys right now.
And now, it's still the Widowmaker show, potentially, as we will have the same comps come out of both teams once more. Zachary gonna be the one under a lot of fire for now. We'll look to still get something done, find those sidelines. Who are you? Dropping pretty low. However, on the other end, Proggy is unable to be that frontline member that Mirage really needs, as he was forced to disengage now. But in the meantime, Who Are You? Also unable to get anything done. You're barely managing to stay alive, and it's gonna be a 2-for-1 and a point for Fusion University, but it's still gonna be a back and forth.
The two Pharahs killing each other like that, just canceling each other out. That's going to work out in the favor of Fusion University as they have the cap. Stalling things out. Who Are You will be brought back up. And they're holding out right now, just kind of hiding. I don't think anybody's going to be able to see them here, as Math is now on the Hanzo. He actually puts it in the wrong place, perhaps, although they do finally spot them out. Now just jumping right in. Jesus still taking some pressure, though, from Who Are You?
We'll need to find those kills, because already 30% is being built up on the board for Fusion University, as well as a lot of ultimates in enough, as Zachary does find Haku in that engage, and with that kill, it will be an ultra important one. Now Fika gonna be the one to go down. Alarm, though, goes out without using his Transcendence, and finally, Jesus getting Who Are You as well. Might see Mirage get the point flipped in their favor.
Oh, Zachary extending pass, and Brogy gonna be in his face. They won't find the kill or the damage that they need, and it's actually Zachary trying to take Jesus out from the other side, the other angle, as Brogy jumps in. Zachary's gonna take some heat. He's gonna reset with that health pack, as Brogy's now the one in danger, and he gets taken down, as Who Are You on the other side will be able to clean things up.
And now, with so much percentage, with this positional advantage on top, Fusion University are most definitely looking poised to secure another win on the board and advance through the losers bracket. But considering the fact that we will see some swaps coming in here for Mirage, they will most definitely not go out without a fight.
Yeah, bringing in the Dragon Strike. They're going to unleash it right away, actually, before even really knowing where they are. And now it's Math trying to put some pressure on it. Zachary finds the kill. Progi does fall, though, in the process. They have the Transcendence available, and now it's now or never. You have to pull it out. You have to help contest the point. You have to keep Fika and Progi up. They do get the flip. Fika very low, but Haku coming in with the Transcendence does save his life for now.
But the problem is, Jer wasn't able to be saved, and now the
Oh,
boy is
Math!
under it, but Math shuts it immediately. And this is the type of heroic plays they really need to make it happen. But Alarm with the Transcendence might be enough to make sure the rest of his team will be victorious. As now Jer gets the boot, but it's not gonna be over just yet. Beast Halo finds a kill off of the Primal Rage. Self-destruct was used by Pika, but it will still be going in favor overall of Mirage, but ever so slightly.
Oh, who are you going to be taking down? Jesus is on fire as well, as he has the rally for the next one. Waving hi to the camera, and you deserve that moment, sir, because you just lit it up. Who are you swapping over to the fair once again? And we will see this get ever closer. Mirage Sport now at 50%.
Zachary finding that entry kill will be pretty big. No resurrect will come through after the rally was used. As we will see, of course, no mercy on this side with Haku and Jer on the Lucio with the Zenyatta. Dragon Strike coming in from spawn will at the very least keep the enemies at bay here for Mirage, as they only have that self-destruct alarm. Will be going down. Haku still being lethal on that Zenyatta, but will once again will just be enough because the rest of Fusion University are relentless.
Oh, Progy's down low. Who are you will help find that kill, and that's the sound barrier to sustain them. 80% now as Fusion University looking to find these kills to test this point. Pika wards them off. They're going to look to actually re-engage here. Look how low Haku got there. Finally got some healing though, and they're going to re-stabilize. 90% now. Mirage Sport could take this right here, but they have nothing available unless Haku can somehow get that Transcendence up.
And it's going to be very important to keep your SPO for that one, as we'll see immediately Kraken Lakin potentially be desuited. Top of that point, pushing that overtime. The rest of his team coming in eventually, but overall it's still a 6v5 advantage in favor of Mirage. They need to keep this one alive for themselves, and with Zachary going down, Hako again successful, but who are you finding that counter? Proggy will at the very least make things competitive now. Beast Halo with that Primal Rage looking to push everyone away. Jesus has that rally map coming alive with a double kill off of that Tracer play. Beast Halo gets brought back up, but Mirage might have done it.
Oh, they equalize. It's 1-1, 2-2 in the series. The next map is all or nothing for both of these teams. One of them will be going home. And what a map to go out on, as well as once more, we will be going to Ruins to be able to determine who's going to be leaving this tournament.
And what an absolutely insane series this has been. It's gonna go the full distance and now on to Ruins. It's just gonna be so tough to call because, while yes, Zachary has been absolutely monstrous on that Widowmaker yesterday and all throughout his time on it, Jesus still continuously stepping it up. But the rest of his team will be going in with that double sniper, answered with the same comp for Fusion University here on Ruins.
It's up to Zachary and Jesus, certainly, I think, to open this fight up for the respective teams. And already Zachary has taken some heat, so he's going to have to get down from where he really wants to be. Already, I mean, Zachary and Who Are You have both taken a little bit of fire already. As we see Mirage Sport searching, you can see Jesus just hunting Zachary down.
On the prowl, looking for those heads, looking for those shots. Unable to find anything just yet, but he might take this first point cap. However, Kraken Lakin now coming in with Beast Halo. Will look to contest, push them away, enable Zachary to find those sidelines, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 as we will see the Punisher return. The Resurrect will be available on both ends. Widowmaker's coming back into play, but for this prolonged team fight, Matt finds another. Jesus will go down. Zachary finally getting those kills too, and first point cap in favor of Fusion University.
Oh, Vega gets drilled as well. Zachary going to help to secure that one, and they will back them off. Infosight available. And now an opportunity as well for Zachary to set up. And Who Are You actually swapping to the Genji? And I like this. As long as nobody else swaps from Mirage Sport, this is a great swap for him to throw out, because he can really put some pressure onto Jesus and Math and possibly really allow for Zachary to have a much better experience and time here, as he already got the pick onto Jesus.
And it was, I did like the swap over from at the very least Proggy on the Winston compared to what he would have been able to do on that Orisa. Jesus, of course, also potentially able to shut down Who Are You, but already with this advantage in favor of Fusion University, they're just going to continuously try to keep it that way for themselves, but the rest of Mirage now looking to brawl this one out on top of the point. Transcendence committed. And we'll see Zachary still uncontested for now. Dragon Strike coming out of Math.
Oh, who are you? Got taken down there very quickly. Alarm might be forced to pop the Transcendence here if Beast Halo can make his way back, and he does. Not forced to do it just yet. He's going to get a little health reset. Who are you staying alive as well? There's Vika throwing up the self-destruct. Not going to find anything this time. And who are you will actually kill him inside of that baby form. Math gets res back up. Zachary going to the sky. Can he find the kill? Not this time.
Doesn't even need it though. The rest of Mirage will be pushed towards their spawn. 75%. It's going to come down to desperation fights because Alarm still having that Transcendence will be looking to keep the rest of his team alive long enough for Who Are You to most definitely have the blade at the ready. And you see how dangerous that can really be, but will be Jesus popping that rally, looking to engage, looking to finally get the point in their favor. Zachary though, still fighting those shots. Will have self-destruct being used by Krakenlak and get a fresh suit up and ready and available. Jesus going down.
Oh, here's the blade.
At the point.
Oh, they take it. Fusion University has somehow clawed their way back into this one. And time again, when it was just so close, when it seemed like they were down and out, they have crawled back in. And now they will be moving on. Mirage Sport, unfortunately for them, will be out of the tournament. But like I said before, you absolutely cannot take anything away from their performance. They were spectacular throughout. And I think everybody watching has to have a